Okay. I have the Veggie Tales. I'm Bob, and I'm Larry, and we're here to answer your questions. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, I do.
What do I say?
We're going to jump right in.
We're going to jump right in. After these messages.
Welcome to the KDrama Show with Ashley and Kim.
That's Ashley.
That's Kim. That's Kim. We're here to recap and relive our favorite moments of episode 11, Business Proposal, with you, our listeners.
We're going to jump right in, so if you have not, make sure that you have watched episode 10.
11.
Episode 11. Before listening to this episode of our podcast. So without further ado,
let's jump into it.
That.
Welcome to the KDrama Show. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Kim.
We're here to unpack your all-time favorite Korean dramas and chat about all the reasons that we find these shows so charming.
And so addictive. And we know you do too, so settle in with some ramen and a boba tea while we dive into the KDrama Show with Ashley and Kim.
Make sure you are following us on Instagram, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. We also are now on Amazon Music, so you can find us there. What am I missing? Spotify.
I don't have topic names because that was asking a lot of myself.
Fair.
Topic number 1. So Haru has been confronted by the chairman for pretending to be YeongSeo, right? Mm-hmm. Everything is falling apart now. And he has gotten the call about TaeMoo's car accident. So Haru chooses to follow the chairman to the hospital, and she just wants to know what's going on, right? This is the man that she loves, and she needs news, but he gets after her about it, and he's like, you need to go home, like, right now. This is a family affair. You don't belong here. But TaeMoo is fine. He has a bum arm, but he walks into the waiting room, and he's just like, this is a real relationship. It's not fake. It's not for any getting even purposes or for clout chasing. It is because we actually care about each other. Mm-hmm. And we see that they're in the hospital room, and TaeMoo is saying to his grandfather, like, if you want me to create an heir, that is the woman you let me marry. Full stop. Mm-hmm. And that like drives him nuts. But YeongSeo is driving Haru home, and it starts to pour cats and dogs outside. So she rushes back to the hospital because she's like, he's probably having a meltdown right about now. He just had a car accident, and it's raining. As she's going inside the hospital, the chairman kind of sees her coming through, but he sort of just gives her a pass, like, I'm not going to fight this battle tonight. And so she goes directly to TaeMoo's hospital room, and they kind of have this really sweet moment where they just chat about his parents. And it allows him to relive, like, the sweet moments that he got to spend with his parents in a way that it wasn't overshadowed by the grief and the pity mm-hmm. that he usually gets.
Right.
And she kind of comments on the fact that he seems to have had a really happy childhood. And he thanks her for her genuine care about him and reveals the events that had led up to his parents' accident. Which brings us to topic 2.
So after he's opened up about the fact that he actually blames himself for their deaths of, I wanted them to come see me, and then they got in an accident, Haru stops him and was just basically has him go, well, she asks him, do you resent me for your current accident? And when he tells her no, she helps him just go process everything, basically. But the next morning, she wakes up, and she's at his bedside and goes, oh, crap, I need to go home. I'm going to get yelled at. And as she gets in the door, her mom walks out, and she pretends to turn around and walk out the door. And YeongSeo actually is there to pick her up and lets her know that there is some drama going on. Yura is our favorite person, as we know. She's made a post to the people who've been commenting on the video of Minwoo and Haru, mm-hmm. saying how they look so good together, and she basically paints Haru in this light of she's playing both men. She's liked Minwoo for so long, and then decided to start to flirt with the president in order to get Minwoo clout, basically. And this blows up in a bizarre way where it gets to the point where everybody in the company is gossiping so much that the chairman calls them out, and it says, if we can't get other people to shut up, why are you adding to this? Like, you are making this worse for our company. And if you want everybody else to leave the company alone, you need to keep your mouth shut as well. And as Hadi gets in the office, a different team walks into Team 1's office and lets them know they deserve answers. And they even take down the sign that they put up that says, this is, like, unless you are Team 1, you're not allowed in here. And everyone is speculating that Hadi actually seduced TaeMoo. And the reason that he isn't at work right now is because of the shame and the shock of her cheating on him. So Hadi actually walks in and apologizes for being late. And this is when the whole team, like, she lets the whole team know, Yuji lets them all know, all of our projects have been suspended if they have Hadi's name on it. Just basically to keep it from showing favoritism of, like, oh, because she's the one that was on the team, that's why they have the project. And from then on, they are now a support team.
Because of all the bad press.
Because of all of the bad press.
So topic
3.
3. /4. So YeongSeo is checking in on Hadi, and she actually runs into her cousin and chooses to kind of rub it in her face that she's the one who's with Secretary Cha. And her cousin's like, I haven't told anyone. This is my last act of love for him. And she's actually kind of impressed by this, YeongSeo is, and she's like, why do we have to have the same taste in clothing and fashion?
And men.
And men. But we're back at work, and Hadi is kind of lurking around. She's sort of embarrassed to really be seen by anyone, because why wouldn't you be?
Right.
You're the center of all of the gossip. But she's listening to her coworkers, the people on her team, talk about how it's tough to be caught in the crossfire of all this, right? They've been pulled from projects. People are drilling them for the latest and greatest, and they're like, we just want to work. And you're not letting that happen. Mm-hmm. But they're down in the lobby kind of talking about this, and Hadi's like lurking behind a plant, and they hear some other people from the office building. They're kind of dragging Hadi through the mud, like saying she probably only won her award because she was sleeping with the president, and this is why she gets put on these good projects all of the time, mm-hmm. and blah, 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 blah. And the woman makes a comment about how she should maybe take a whack at TaeMoo if she wants to be successful in the company. But Kevin just kind of like slinks over to her and pulls rank, and he's like, Hadi works harder than literally anybody else, and that is the only reason that she has gotten to where she is. And she is also far more beautiful than you are, because you're kind of ugly.
The best part about this is hands are on his hips and goes, and she's prettier than you.
Yeah, and then the female coworker looks to like her friend who had been standing there for help, and she's like, how dare you? And he's just like, no, we just need to leave. He pulled rank.
I don't want to do this here.
Right. But Hadi sees all of this, and she starts to cry, and she runs to them and then just like eats it, and then stands up and runs to them and gives them all hugs, and she just apologizes because she thought they hated her.
Right.
Because everyone else does. But she realizes that they're really her friends. That brings us into topic 4.
4 or 5. So YeongSeo goes to the chicken shop because she's trying to make sure that her Hadi's parents haven't learned any of the news and want to keep it as drama free for Hadi. Wow, Hadi, I don't know what. Let me try that again. I was trying to make it as drama free for Hadi as she can, and she overhears customers that are talking about the news that's going on, the gossip, and is wondering like, oh, is that actually the daughter of these shop owners? Mm-hmm. And as one of them like gets up to go ask the question, YeongSeo it like bursts through everybody and was like, you know what? All of your food is on me. Order whatever it is you want. All the beer and all the chicken.
Bear in mind, she does not have her black card anymore.
She has no money. But then we cut to the hospital, and SungHoon is helping TaeMoo get dressed, getting sleeves over the cast, and hasn't been a very loving embrace. And the nurse walks in and just goes,
I'll give you some privacy.
I'll come back. It's fine. So just continuing to feed into everybody else's other assumptions about their relationship. SungHoon asks TaeMoo, what is your plan now for the situation between your grandfather and Hadi? And TaeMoo just asks him, if it were YeongSeo and her dad telling you to leave, would you be able to do it? I'm not giving her up. And at the same time, SungHoon has not informed TaeMoo of all of the current drama at the office. And then we cut back to YeongSeo lamenting how much money she has now spent on other people to keep their mouths shut.
Being a good friend.
And Hadi just hugs her and tells her that she is the best.
While they're sitting there counting their pennies left over, TaeMoo calls Hadi from a payphone. And she's been fielding his calls, probably because she doesn't want to have to try to cover up the fact that she's really having a hard time at work while he's busy healing from his car accident. But while they're on the phone, he tells her, I have a friend here with me that's been keeping me company. She's like, who is it? He goes, it's someone who's a really good listener or something like that. And it's the Worry Doll that's from the concert they first went to,
right.
Mellowmance. Dun, 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 dun. But he hears her kind of attitude, just being not her usual bubbly self. And so he asks her what's going on, and he's like, what could you possibly have to be sad about now that we don't have to hide a relationship from my grandfather? And he's basically about to announce that he has intentions to marry her. But of course the payphone runs out of minutes. But as he returns into his room, he hears his grandfather's plans to send him back to New York City. And he basically gives him an ultimatum and says, you have 2 years that you have to be gone. No contact with Hari. If you come back and you feel the same way, I'll give you my approval. And TaeMoo's like, yeah, nothing's going to change between then and now, so let's save everybody 2 years of time and just let us date.
Yep.
All right. Topic number next.
So YeongSeo and SungHoon are making their way up to their apartments, basically. So they're in the parking garage, and they're making plans for a date, and her dad gets out of a car and decides to introduce himself, and much to YeongSeo's dismay of knowing how her dad is and what his typical MO when it comes to any guy that she's even remotely interested in. And her dad actually invites them to go to dinner. Because we cut back to the office, and Team 1 is working on being support, basically, for the ravioli. And Kevin actually makes a comment of wanting to throw his letter of resignation in, but he can't do that because he wants to get married. And then we see that Hadi actually gets summoned to go see Chairman Kang, and everybody's like, oh no, what's going to happen? Like, is she going to be fired? And the chairman actually tells her, okay, so here's your option. We move you to a different branch. Like, you have to relocate until everything dies down. And if you don't like that option, you can leave. You can leave the company. And we get to the hospital, and TaeMoo actually overhears the nurses talking about all of the drama.
Sorry, my notes say TaeMoo.
TaeMoo. Oh no.
Not as good as Taheel, but.
You're so cute. So TaeMoo hears about the scandal that is involving his girlfriend, and confronts SungHoon as going, basically, of every single person in my life, you are the one that's supposed to tell me about these things. Like, that is our relationship. What is going on? How come she's the one dealing with this all by herself? And SungHoon tells him, we need you to wait till your grandpa calms down and figure out what he's trying to do and what his plan is. And TaeMoo just goes to his grandfather instead and goes, okay, what are you trying to do? Because I've already told you nothing's changing here.
No.
I'm going to marry this woman, and you need to leave her. If you don't leave her alone, I'm resigning as president.
Yeah. Crazy. Topic number next. So the hiking Ajumas have returned to the chicken shop.
Yeah, Ajuma.
Send help. Okay, have returned to the chicken shop, and
You want me to go grab Pom Pom?
they're asking. Pom pom. They're asking about the handsome chicken shop owner that helped them the last time, and so Hari's mom's like, "Are you talking about my husband? I mean, I can go get him." And so she goes and brings him out, and they're like, no, the young, handsome one. And then in walks TaeMoo, and they're like, oh, that one right there, that's the one.
He's so cute.
He's so adorable. Anyway, Hari's parents are super confused, because why are they referring to TaeMoo as the chicken shop owner? Because they still think he's Kevin.
Right.
They still think he's Director Bin or whatever. He's asking where Hari is, because she's disappeared. And we flash back and see that in this meeting with the chairman, Hari basically shouted him down. She's like, I'm not leaving. You understand how many years of my life I've poured into this company? I was employee of the year. I was this. You have your best-selling product because of me, and your #1 chef. Shut up.
And like, look at all of these other projects that are in the top like 5 or whatever of like.
Also mine. So chill the freak out, man.
Step off. Not kindly either.
But she's like, I'm never gonna resign. Basically, you're gonna fire me if you want to get rid of me. And TaeMoo and Hamin have met up at the playground down the way, and they're kind of conspiring about how they're gonna find Hari, because Hamin knows who he is.
Right.
But then we see Hari's parents show up, and they are out for blood because they think that he's some 50-year-old dude who's hitting on their 30-year-old daughter.
Right.
Trying to get her, I don't know.
Something,
a little sweet something on the side. And they actually, like, start yelling at him for hitting on a subordinate. Yeah. But Hamin's like, no. And he tells TaeMoo to go to his car, and so TaeMoo takes off, and he's like, that's the president of Go Foods. You need to chill. And he likes Hari, so, like, don't ruin this for me. I mean, for Hari.
I'm only saying this because I love my sister.
And definitely not the allowances or the car. But that brings us into our final topic.
So we finally see the dinner between SungHoon, YeongSeo, and her dad. And he is comforting her, being like, everything is going to be okay. At some point, I was gonna have to meet him anyway. Like, we want to have a future together. This is something that was gonna have to happen. And her dad starts asking all sorts of questions, like a normal, like, father person dating my child conversation.
Right.
And he even asks, are you obligated to stay at your current company? Like, I know you have a really good relationship with the chairman, but I want to know if the man that my daughter is wanting to marry would leave and take over all of my hard work. Which, that's a fairly reasonable conversation and questions to be asking. And he, tells YeongSeo, I know I've been stubborn, but I don't want to be on bad terms with you. And they're driving back to their...
he tells YeongSeo to move back in.
Right. Of like, if this is how things are going to work, we need to have these set in place for things to move forward. And on SungHoon and YeongSeo's way back, she's wondering, like, is my dad ill? Like, what is happening? Like, I know when people get sick, like...
He's definitely dying.
Like, they start acting different. I'm really confused. And she starts to sneeze and begins to look for tissues in the car, and instead finds a box and is like, oh, what's this? Like, is this, like, are you holding on to this for TaeMoo? Again, reasonable question. And she opens it and finds a ring, and he goes, well, that was actually supposed to be your birthday present. So, I want to propose to you, but I need your dad's full approval. And since that's something I don't have yet, I don't know if this is, like, the kind of conversations we need to have. And she stops him and goes, no, I want to get married. So he pulls over, and then we have the super sweet proposal on the sidewalk, and
a business
proposal. But she keeps talking, and he tells her, can you please stop saying everything that I want to say?
Yeah.
Like, let me talk now. And then we cut to Hari, and she's found herself by Namsan Tower, or the Christmas tree, and like finally looks at her phone and was like, wow, I have so many missed calls and messages from my brother. Like, is he okay, or are my parents okay? And starts listening to the voicemails, and it's just TaeMoo going, okay, I'm leaving you another message. Like, where are you? I'm trying to find you. Are you okay? And when she finally gets a hold of him, tells him where she's at, and they finally find each other, and he tells her, like, I've been so worried about you. Like, are you okay? Like, why wouldn't you say anything to me? Like, we're supposed to be in this together. And he takes her home, and they spend the night together. End of episode.
My rendition was, as Hari wanders home, she sees a voicemail from Hamin, but it's TaeMoo begging her to call him. She calls TaeMoo because there's too many M's, and tells him she's by Namsan Tower wandering aimlessly, blah blah blah, ... He takes her to his apartment and they share a steamy night.
Oh, so you technically have a passionate night together.
And ...
Mamma mia.
Yeah. Character of the hour.
This one's hard because all 4 of our main characters have such big moments.
Mm-hmm. They really do.
Hari for standing up for herself and being like, I'm not leaving. Like, also I love him. I'm not going to leave him. And TaeMoo, same thing. Like, yeah. This is my woman. Like, I'm spending my life with her, so you can just deal with it.
Butt out. I think that Hari is probably my character of the hour, and not even for the job thing, but more for the way that she loves TaeMoo and supports TaeMoo and wants to be there for him, but not in a way where she's always trying to fix him, but just in a way that she loves him for who he is and wants to walk beside him through all of the things that he's going through. Final thoughts.
I'm pretty sure every episode. It's just so good. And even with the conflict with TaeMoo's grandpa and, you know, telling Hari, you're done now. Like, leave my grandson alone. And just how the 2 of them go, no, I don't think so.
I'm good.
Yeah, we're not going to have this conversation.
Yeah.
But then even, I mean, SungHoon and YeongSeo of just being like, big, little, whatever it is, like, yep, I got you back. I, like, the same thing. This is my person. And there's only 1 episode left. Which is crazy. It's such a good show.
It is a good show. All right. Well, that was episode 11. If you have not yet, make sure that you have followed
Follow us on Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and Amazon Music. Bye.
Like what you're hearing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any new episodes. We'd love to connect with you on our Instagram at the KDrama Show. For more behind-the-scenes content, be sure to check out our YouTube channel. Links are in the show notes. Thanks for hanging out with us on the KDrama Show with Ashley and Kim, and we'll see you next time.